No one who has seen the carnage and brutality of war can escape the experience unchanged. Even for those vets who were lucky enough to avoid physical injury, the emotional damage inflicted on them often turns strong men and women into ghosts of their former selves, unrecognizable even to their own loved ones. It is to help make our veterans whole again, those servicemen and women who are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and other combat-related mental afflictions, that Haven from the Storm was established. I'm more than honored to be associated with it. During the Vietnam War, when I entertained our troops there, I was able to speak with hundreds of them. I sat with them in field hospitals, MACVs they were called, and prayed with them that their wounds would eventually heal. At the time, we had never even heard of post-traumatic stress disorder. It wouldn't be diagnosed until 8 years after the Vietnam War was over. Now a new generation of servicemen and women are coming home, this time from the Middle East. The military says that as many as 58% may be victims of PTSD and other brain disorders, and yet a majority of these veterans will still go untreated because the priority of our military in training them to fight in battle has not nearly been matched by our commitment to healing them once they come home. What are the symptoms of PTSD that our veterans are suffering from right now? Those symptoms are very familiar to those vets because they live with them night and day. Sexual dysfunction, helplessness, hopelessness, disorientation and displacement, a feeling of being lost at sea, isolation from the real world, numbness, apathy, deep depression, despondency, the inability to concentrate, sudden outbursts of rage for no plausible reason to others, a tendency towards physical violence, the bleakness and uncertainty of the future, and the fear of death, all of which I call a displacement of the soul. Without the proper treatment, which is so lacking now, their symptoms often surface as alcoholism, drug dependency, spousal abuse, sexual dysfunction, and even in criminal activity. The military has recently announced a staggering fact that in the last 2 wars, we have lost more veterans to suicide than those that were killed in battle. This isn't only an outrage, but the ultimate tragedy for those who have laid their lives on the line to protect ours. These servicemen and women have been trained to be killers, not lovers. We expect them to turn off the switch as soon as they take off their uniforms. Some can do it, most cannot. All over America, there are halfway houses to ease the way back into our society for ex-convicts and former drug addicts. Why is it that we fail as a nation to have such places of transition for our heroes who nobly fought on foreign soil so that we at home could live in peace? This has been a dismal failure on the part of all of us. It is not only a misfortune for the afflicted, but it is a stain on the fabric of our country. If this makes you as angry as it does me, it should. I hope it does. It's up to each of us to let these veterans know that there is hope for the better life that they deserve. By visiting this website, you've already shown that you care. Your contributions will go towards medical attention, experts on PTSD, transitional care, and family counseling, all of which are so urgently needed right now. Turn your caring into action so that 40 years from now, our veterans of today will no longer be trapped in the deserts of Iraq or in the craggy mountains of Afghanistan. With the help of you, the American people, our country can become a true haven from the storm. What I envision is not a nation of disabled veterans, but a nation of fully functional and able ones. We really owe them, don't you think? This is my dream. I'm Connie Francis, and on behalf of all those heroes who have lived up to the highest ideals of service, bravery, the love of their country, and of their fellow Americans, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you deeply.